CTV News, we take a look at CSU alum that reached for the stars, quite literally.
Then we glance at a collaboration that is combating STDs and the stigma that comes with them.
Then your CSU Double Trouble breaks down your favorite Ram sports, plus entertainment and weather, starting now.
Welcome and thank you for joining us this evening, CSU in Fort Collins. I'm Aislinn Carrillo.
And I'm Bailey Lakey. Well, CSU enjoyed its second snow day of the semester. Aislinn, did you do anything fun?
Honestly, Bailey, I just stayed in and caught up on homework.
I pretty much did the same thing, just curled up with a good book and a cup of coffee.
With winter storms and high winds, we can expect more crashes in Fort Collins and I-25 heading up north. There were so many crashes on I-25 that the interstate was closed for 6.5 hours yesterday. The city of Fort Collins reported 24 separate crashes between 6 a.m. and 3 p.m. respectively. That total is likely to increase within the next coming days as people don't always report their crashes till well after the event. When snow is sticking and winds are heavy, we advise to slow down.
Fort Collins Police and the coroner's office are investigating the death of a man found outside of Discount Tire on North College this morning. While no information has been given about the man, no foul play or suspicious activity is suspected. However, hypothermia may be the cause of the man's death, which would make it the second death related to the cold this year.
A fellow Ram did two normal-sounding tasks, drinking coffee and eating lettuce, but with one twist, he was in space. Expedition 44 flight engineer Shel Lindgren returns to campus with wisdom and advice to inspire the next generation. CTV reporter Kay Bennett has your exclusive look.
See that it's not bicycle lane. That's not moving. I can go back the other direction.
CSU's class of '96 and NASA astronaut Shel Lindgren returns to campus after spending 141 days orbiting Earth as a flight engineer on the International Space Station.
So it's great to be back here.
Beside him sits Dr. Susan Bailey, who studies astronauts' chromosomes when they return home.
He's literally been giving blood for our study. And so we take that blood and we're able to look at and measure telomere length before, during, and after his mission.
Lindgren says that giving blood is just a part of the job, a job that he's thankful to hold the weight of.
The tens of thousands of people have spent hundreds of thousands of hours creating, if not millions of hours building. And there are just a very few of us that actually get to experience the real thing in flight.
And he says that his time as a CSU Ram changed things.
In some ways, I really feel like my journey in earnest to space started here.
Seeing his work as a graduate student come full circle.
It's called the bracelet. That was the subject of my master's thesis. And I got issued a pair of those for space flight.
It's been about 20 years since Dr. Lindgren graduated from CSU, and he still holds a strong connection to campus and students that may follow in his footsteps. Behind me, he's about to begin a keynote address where he describes his 6-month journey in space.
Taking the limelight away from himself, Lindgren seemed to surround his story around one key message.
If you have that goal, you have that destination, you've got to work hard, you've got to bring it.
Kay Bennett, CTV News.
Shel says he would like to go back to space in his lifetime, but is happy to wait his turn and enjoy time with his family.
Liquor makers in Fort Collins and all over the state are asking for changes to Colorado's controversial alcohol laws. As it stands now, corporations are allowed one store each in the state that sells alcohol at levels above 3.2%. The changes would allow all grocery and convenience stores the ability to sell alcohol at any content level, helping local breweries and distilleries sell their product. Critics claim the proposed changes would hurt liquor stores, stating business would be taken by larger stores.
STD testing is an imperative part of fighting and stopping infection. CREW, which stands for Creating Respect, Educating Wellness, by and for students along with the Hartshorn Health Center are here to help. CREW is promoting the Health Center's campaign to inform students about STD testing. The campaign is aimed at getting students to think of testing as an act of pride, not shame. Now through April 15th, the Health Center is offering discounted testing, and the process is easier than you may think.
It's non-invasive. I think a lot of people think there's some pain involved or anything, and literally all you do is just pee in a cup, and then you get your test results back, and then you just learn whether or not you have chlamydia and gonorrhea. If you do have chlamydia or gonorrhea, it's not a big deal. It's completely curable. So that's a huge part of just getting people understanding how they can help themselves.
The U.S. presidential candidates aren't the only ones running a campaign this year. CSU students are now campaigning for the president and vice president of this 2016-2017 school year. After CSU presidential candidate Daniela Pineda Soroka's original running mate, Timothy Curry, was ruled ineligible due to a GPA requirement, Soroka teamed up with Mike Linsky, the current Senate membership officer in CSU, to run as her new vice president in the spring election. They will be contending with one other campaign run by presidential candidate Ashley Higgins, the current ASCSU Deputy Chief of Staff, and Vice President candidate Stephen Losoya, the current ASCSU Director of Outreach. The two teams will campaign up until voting days on April 4th through 6th. Well, Nicole Conklin is up next with your weekly weather forecast.
Colorado is a mixed bag of weather, and the upcoming week is no different.